it's just so fantastically beautiful. It's a stunning stone, and you just can't. Once you get addicted to it, you can't stop.
Not everyone who comes to the desert is searching for minerals. For some, the emptiness of the outback is its greatest virtue. This is Woomera Rocket Range, a missile test site built in the dry desert void. Land-to-air missiles can be fired here with little risk of injuring anyone below. Opened in 1947, Woomera is the biggest rocket range in the Western world. Extending over 127,000 square kilometers, it covers an area almost the size of England and is still operational today. For 50 years, rockets, missiles and other ballistic weapons have been blasted skywards. On the ground, and relics from rockets point to a secret history of military testing. But the perception that the outback was an empty, lifeless landscape was far from the truth. For over 50,000 years, Australian Aborigines have lived deep in the desert. No one thought to ask their permission before testing at Woomera began. The native population had to simply live under the rocket paths. And much worse was to follow.
Following the now familiar blinding flash, the sinister mushroom rises.
Deep in the back blocks of Australia, far beyond Woomera itself, the base of operations was established. Uninviting, trackless country this, where every vehicle must carry water and stores enough for twice the time scheduled.
During the 1950s and 60s, in an area known as Maralinga, the British and Australian governments joined forces to conduct secret nuclear tests. The desert sky was set alight by 9 atomic explosions, some as powerful as the Hiroshima bomb. The effect was to turn the desert into a radioactive wasteland. Australian Aborigines who'd lived on the land for millennia were forced from their homes. These days, different kinds of prohibited zones have appeared in the outback, lands that are permanently owned by the Aborigines. Almost 1,000 kilometers north of the bomb sites at Maralinga is Pukacha, a designated Aboriginal homeland where indigenous Australians have the freedom to practice their ancient traditions. Today, Silvana is out hunting. In the outback, there's all kinds of bush tucker to be had. If you can catch it. In the past, hunting was part of survival. But these days, Silvana is after the thrill of the chase.
Hunting banyan banyak. Min merak. Oh, apa yang ngananan ko pa? Panya ka panya. Kuli panyela ranyang ka. Ngala kuli ranyang ka palo yang tin ka ira pakalal pa. Nginda kalolo marlo.
Unfortunately for the women today, the goanna is fast food. The women live in a nearby town with modern amenities, but here in the desert is where they feel most at home.
Wan puting ka nyura nyana kokanga munwal jawin kinga nyana ura nyala ngura ura ngala nyana banyak tahun nanggo ya puting ka Kuji pada banyak ilang anak bangrani pudding. Murah pukul barar.
Here in Pukacha, Silvana has a house. There's a school, a police station, a medical clinic and a grocery shop. It's a town typical of the kind successive governments have funded for Aboriginal people in an attempt to atone for atrocities committed against them in the past. Many people believe this urban-style living is poor compensation for what's been lost. In the land of the so-called fair go, Australia still has a long way ahead to fix a great social failing. While the goanna's gone to ground, the women turn their minds to hunting another kind of bush tucker.
Ngana na mukurang mako, ngana na rawa mukurang payaan ko jako, mako jawan jako, ngal kon jako. Menang puyul bay, kala menang malang ko kujuparan ko bay mala pulka yelal bay mako.
Exclusive to the Outback, the witchetty grub is the larva of the ghost moth and a staple of the Aboriginal diet. A rich source of protein, while usually lightly roasted, today it's devoured uncooked. Suddenly, the main course is back on the menu. But there's nothing subtle about catching a goanna. It's an ancient tradition that sometimes calls for a bit of grunt.
Wangai lan ko bay pampa yudang ka enwa janang kari bay menunindil bay maluk. Tin ka ko nginda ka ko janam. Menunyara palong ngelnya ko nindring bay janala.
Maintaining their ancestral links, Australian Aborigines can still live off the land. In the last 200 years, their culture has been tested more fiercely than ever before. Yet still the old ways endure. The ancient traditions hold fast. They are true survivors in an ever-changing desert. The Australian outback is a place where staggering beauty can appear overnight, where life is brutal and the rewards can be great. For millennia, mankind left only footprints in the sand. But now, in the race to unearth its wealth, the desert landscape is being transformed, signaling the beginning of a new age in the story of the outback. In the past, humans here lived in harmony with nature. Today, the people of the outback are pulling together to survive. As the future brings ever more change, the people who live here will again have to adapt to survive life at the edge of the earth.